Welcome back to another video on the channel today. Today we're going to be previewing our big game on Saturday away at Norwich City. It doesn't get much bigger than this, Wrexham Football Club. We're coming off the back of that really disappointing home defeat to QPR, and it doesn't get much easier as we travel to the Canaries, to Carrow Road to take on Norwich City, who have had a decent-ish start to the season, but given their history in the Championship and how many times they've, been up to the Premier League and been back down to the Championship, there is that sort of winning DNA inside Norwich City's camp over the years, and it's going to be a very tough game. Before we get into today's video, I would just like to apologise. Apologies if I sound very ill in this video. It feels like I've been hit by a train. And also, someone commented they'd love to know the sort of background behind the shirt that I do put on the wall behind every video. This one I got off eBay, I think, a couple of months ago, I think at the start of the new year. It's match worn by a Wrexham player in a friendly. It's got number 14 on the back, no name, but I do think it was worn obviously in the 13-14 season by Nick Rushton in a friendly. That's my best guess sort of on the shirt front, and hopefully at the end of the video there'll sort of be an interesting segment if I can get everything to work. Make sure as well to subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Let's go for 350 likes on today's video, and without further ado, let's get previewing our game away at Norwich. So like I said in the intro, it's a very disappointing performance. We're coming off at home, obviously the 3-1 defeat to QPR. It doesn't get easier for Wrexham as we take a trip down south to Carrow Road to Norwich City. The players, the fans and the coaching staff will all want to bounce back from that really horrific defeat, I would say, and I don't think I'm harsh in saying horrific because all across the pitch it wasn't a good performance, and they'll be looking to bounce back with an improved all-round performance because it's going to be a tough fixture. But surprisingly, Wrexham on the road this season have been a lot better away than at home. We obviously picked up the win away at Preston North End. We got that really good away win at Millwall, which is why I was so surprised that we put in a performance like that at home to QPR. So let's hope it was sort of the kick up the backside that the players did need, of course, losing at home to QPR, and let's hope we can sort of go to Norwich, and if we can get at least a point out of this game, I think it'd be a very good result for us. So if we're looking at our opponents, Norwich City, now the Canaries come into this game against us on decent form. They picked up an away point at Coventry City on the weekend. They should have won that game. It was a 97th minute Haji Wright equaliser, so it would have been seen as a good result beforehand if they'd have gone to the CBS and picked up obviously a draw away from home. They'd have looked at that beforehand and said we'd have easily taken that. But if they're looking at it now, they should have won the game. They should have got probably one of the toughest places to go. They should have gone there and got all 3 points. So I think it's a sign that we're playing a team that's going to be very tough to beat defensively. Going forward, we're going to be talking about it in a minute, but going forward, they've been good this season. They've of course got Josh Sargent, who a lot of my American fans watching this will know all about. And if we're looking at their last game before the international break, they defeated Blackburn Rovers 2-0 at Ewood Park. So 3 out of 4 points against Blackburn away and Coventry City away, I think is sort of a good return for them, especially because they're not really tipped by many people to be in and around the playoffs this season, given their poor season last year in the Championship. So 3 out of 4 points, they've had a decent start to the season, and they'll be looking to add to that against Wrexham. And if we're looking on the whole from their season, they've picked up 7 points so far. Wrexham have picked up 4. But all their points, surprisingly, this season have come away from home. So is that something that Wrexham should be looking at and targeting maybe? I think they've had a couple of tough home games. They've of course had Middlesbrough. They lost to Millwall at home on the opening day of the season. So is that something to note? We really don't know. But in all competitions this season, they've also conceded 7 goals in 3 games at Carrow Road. So again, we were looking at QPR going into the last game, looking at their away form. I think I spoke on it so much in the match preview for that, saying that Wrexham should be looking at winning this game. But QPR completely turned us over. So in terms of home form, I don't think, given Wrexham's form over the past couple of games, we should really be looking at this thinking we should be targeting it, because anything can happen in Wrexham games. Yeah, and I think on the whole, Carrow Road is a place over the years, especially in the Championship. It's been quite a tough place to go, especially last season and the season before. I think they had some really good home form there, and especially for a Wrexham team who have not played this calibre of teams, not played at this level for a very, very long time. And like I said in the preview, a point in this game I think would be a really good result for Wrexham. If we can get all 3, that is an incredible result. We've shown we can beat some of the tougher teams that have, good home forms. In Millwall, we kept a clean sheet. We got 3 points. We've scored 2 goals past them in their own backyard. If we can go to Norwich City, bounce back from this 3-1 defeat at home to QPR and pick up 3 points, I will be very, very happy, because it would be a massive 3 points, and 3 points that I don't think many teams are going to get at Carrow Road this season. And if we're looking at this on a Wrexham point of view and sort of a Norwich point of view, it's very interesting. The statistics going into this are just sort of hard to wrap your head around. Wrexham have scored more goals than Norwich City this season, but Norwich have been so prolific with the chances they've created. They've created 9 big chances and scored 7 goals. Wrexham, on the other hand, have created 18 big chances, so double what Norwich City have created, but Wrexham have only scored 8 goals, which again sort of just tells the story of Wrexham's season so far. We've created so many chances but have been so unlucky in front of goal. Contradicting that point I've just made, if we can keep Norwich City quiet and if our back five can have a really good game, we're looking at Callum Doyle silencing Josh Sargent, we're looking at Connor Cody, we're looking at those 2-3 defenders just really sticking it on Sargent because he's been their main source of goals so far this season. If we can limit their chances, they're going to have, obviously not many, and Wrexham are going to have a really good chance of keeping a clean sheet, because a strong defensive display in this game could be a really good sort of pointer towards why Wrexham can go there and at least get a point. And if we're looking at how Norwich City are going to set up, they sort of set up with this similar sort of system how to Wrexham play. They adopt that central back three, that three in the central defence with the wing backs on either side. So I'm excited to see what the game sort of holds for the wing backs that are going to be playing for Wrexham. We're looking at Ryan Longman probably. A lot of fans are saying they want James McLean out of the lineup, they want Kabore to come back in. So either way, whoever is playing in this game against Norwich is going to have their work cut out. It's going to be a game where the wing backs are going to contribute heavily to whatever team has the result. Norwich City, I think their wing backs have had a decent start to the season. They'll all be looking to get forward, put those crosses into the box, create the chances, because like I said, they're going to have a key impact as to who wins the game. On the attacking front for Norwich City, it's Josh Sargent. He is going to be the man that Wrexham need to silence because he has had such a very good start to the season. We're looking at his statistics, 6 goals in 6 games in all competitions. He leads the line for the Canaries with the support of 2 attacking midfielders, so it's clear that Sargent, he's scoring goals and he's getting that really good support off the 2 central attacking midfielders, which will likely be Kernach or Marcondes and Jurasek due to their recent injury problems in that central attacking midfield role. I do believe one of their players got injured in the last game who has started every game for them so far in the Championship, so Marcondes and Jurasek, they're the substitutes that either one of those is going to be coming into the side and supporting, you know, the chance creation for Josh Sargent and playing alongside Kernach. And as well, we've just talked on their chances created. They're not going to create many chances. We've seen it over the course of the season, so if Wrexham can keep them quiet, we should have a good day defensively. But on the other hand, they've created 9 big chances and scored 7, so if they get a chance, they are going to take it, especially Josh Sargent, who we're going to be talking about now. So moving on to my player to watch, it is the American striker Josh Sargent. 6 goals, 6 games, and the joint top scorer in the Championship so far. He is going to be the player that we need to look out for the most. He's going to be the player that is going to win the game for Norwich City if they are to go out there and get 3 points, because he's got the chances onto his plate and he scored all the chances that he's been given. He's lethal in front of goal. He showed it over his time at Norwich City. He's one of the best strikers in the division. So Callum Doyle, he played with him last season at Norwich City, so could that sort of give us an advantage? He'll know his game inside out. We'll have to wait and see on that front. Whether it's Connor Cody coming up against him, I'm sure a lot of fans watching this will be thinking Sargent up against Connor Cody is not going to end well. But if we're looking at Dom Hyam coming into the side, again, it could be a different story, but we've got those 3 centre-backs. If we can just gang up on Josh Sargent, keep him quiet, if we can give him sort of an early indication that you're not going to play your game of football, if we can sort of leave a late tackle on him and leave like a late nudge in the back, then I think we could get in his head. But, you know, if we're looking at Josh Sargent, if he gets that chance, like I said, he is likely to put the ball in the back of the net. So we need to limit his chances going forward. So looking on our front going into this game, if we lose to Norwich City, so be it. There's still 40 odd games of the season. But for me personally, I'm going to be looking at this thinking, if we can go to Norwich, if we lose 1-0, if we lose 2-1, if it's a small margin that we lose by, I won't be too disappointed. All I want to see is a better overall team performance from Wrexham, because I think that's definitely what cost us against QPR. If we can see just sort of a good midfield display, a good striking display, plenty of chances created, maybe even get 1 or 2 goals on the score sheet, but more importantly, the defence needs to be so much better. If we can have a good solid defensive display, maybe Dom Hyam coming in for Connor Cody, maybe a switch up in the wing back role, all I want is a good performance from Wrexham. And if we go into this game and if we come out of the game with a point or more, I will be so happy. If we're looking at Norwich as well, they're a well-established side in the Championship and in the Premier League over the years. They've sort of been that yo-yo club between both divisions, so they're always going to have a good quality side. They're going to be strong all over the pitch and will rightly give us a very tough game, like a lot of the teams have done in the Championship so far. So it's important, and I really do hope that Phil Parkinson gets the team selection spot on, because if he doesn't, it could be a long day for us. So speaking on team selection, in my opinion, I'd 100% start Ben Sheaf from the get-go. I talked about him in my match review from the QPR game, but he was such a big player when he came on. He was on for 28 minutes, and comparing his statistics and his performance to Matty James, he was just on another level. And I do think he's going to add that quality that Matty James doesn't really bring to the midfield. We're looking at possibly bringing Loney Issa Kabore into the side on the right hand side of the back line, possibly moving Ryan Longman onto the left. We saw it against Preston, we saw it against QPR. He can play in both wing back roles, because I don't think McLean had all too good of a game against QPR, but on the other hand, Parky has shown his trust in McLean. He's the captain of the side. Will he really drop him? We really don't know, but he needs to start being ruthless with the team selection, because like I said, it wasn't good enough from McLean last week. It wasn't good enough from the midfield, so a switch up is something I expect. Will he drop our skipper? I really don't know, but I do think sooner or later it's going to be Issa Kabore's time to shine, because he's done it in Europe, he's done it in the Premier League, it's his first time playing in the Championship. He'll no doubtedly bring that quality onto that right hand side. It's just a question, does Parky sort of see Ryan Longman as comfortably slotting into that left side from the get-go? We really don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Would you drop James McLean for this game, or would you keep him in the side? Speaking on the injury updates now there is a couple of players coming back from injury. Josh Windass is set to be involved in the Wrexham squad, recovering from a hamstring injury that he sustained against West Bromwich Albion just over a month ago. Like I said, it sidelined him for over a month. It looks like he's made good progress. We saw him walking around the pitch against QPR. He seems to be walking fine. He seems to have recovered really, really well. And if we're looking as well, George Thomason is set to have a first feature in the matchday squad for Wrexham after a thigh injury ruled him out for the entirety of pre-season. I'm really happy with Windass returning, because in my opinion, watching the first couple of games he played for us, he looked really good. He scored a goal away at Southampton, the penalty. He had that shot against the crossbar. He just looks such a confident player going forward, and something that, you know, I think we've missed over the past couple of games, given the chances created and the chances missed on our front. If we can get a player like Josh Windass, who's prolific at this division, I think we could go into this game and he could get on the score sheet. And if we're looking on the midfield as well, George Thomason coming back from injury, it's going to be interesting to see what he can bring to the midfield, especially on the competition front. Some really disappointing news regarding our left wing back Libby Kakachi. Phil Parkinson has been confirmed that Kakachi has been ruled out for a few weeks, and he's described it as a big blow. Rightly so. He's played obviously just a handful of games for us, and in the handful of games that he has played, he's looked really, really good. But injuries seem to just be getting the better of Libby Kakachi so far in his Wrexham career. He obviously featured away at Southampton, picked up that injury, and he pulled out of international duty due to a lack of fitness. And now he's obviously suffered that injury again, which is keeping him out for around a month. He suffered that hamstring injury on the opening day, like I've just said, away at Southampton, and has now got a tendon issue in his other hamstring. So in terms of luck for Libby Kakachi, coming over from Italy to Wales, it's not really been the best of starts to life in a Wrexham shirt. So let's hope he has a speedy recovery, and it's sort of a position that you really don't want to be getting a player injured in, because looking at McLean's performance against QPR, yeah, it's not ideal. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Your prediction for our trip away at Norwich City. Do you think we're going to go out there? Do you think we're going to get a point? All three, like I said, would be a fantastic result, because, again, it's a tough place to go. Wrexham are coming into this game off a really bad defeat at home to QPR. Let's hope we can sort of turn a new chapter and turn a new leaf and get a big result there. So like I said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure there might be a few of you at home watching this video, maybe only a select few, that are into your sports trading cards, and over the past couple of weeks we've obviously seen sort of the new Topps Premier League collection just completely blow up across all social media. And I was thinking, Wrexham aren't in the Premier League yet, but it gave me the idea to sort of have a look on eBay and have a look on different sites and start a collection from past and present Wrexham players. Of course, EFL and Panini are releasing a sticker set in the next couple of weeks in November. So let's have a look at the cards I have brought and I've collected over the years, and I didn't even realise that some of these players were going to play for Wrexham one day. So I've got the protective gloves on because I do not want my grubby hands all over these cards. They're in the binder. So if we're looking at the first page, we've got 3 Joe Allens, who was at Wrexham at the start of his career. We've obviously got Neil Taylor, who was at Wrexham for a bit before getting a big move away. He did actually go, well, I actually went to the same high school as Neil Taylor. We've got Jonathan Walters, who didn't really have a great career at Wrexham, didn't really make a statement. He was there again early years. Jussi Jääskeläinen, a player that didn't actually play for Wrexham, but was the goalkeeper coach under Sam Ricketts. And speaking of Sam Ricketts, the snake, there he is, the manager. Yes, he didn't really leave on good terms. Well, he didn't leave on good terms in general, because he left us for our bitter rival Shrewsbury Town right before our big FA Cup game against Newport County. So yeah, that's one to forget on that front. Next page, we do have 2 Ben Foster cards. What a player he was in his short stint at Wrexham, and of course his stint earlier on in his career winning us the LDV Vans. David Jones played a select few games, got sent off, scored a worldie away at Solihull and is now part of the coaching team. Kemi Augustine, what a throwback that is. I think he was at us for at least 3 or 4 months. I don't think he played a game, but that's another one. We do have a really cool one here. We've got Ollie Palmer, a relic of a bit of his shirt that he did wear throughout his career. It's from the baseball set in 2023, so I'll have to find out what part and what area of the shirt that is from and what season the part of the shirt is from. We've then got Stephen Fletcher there for Sunderland super sub. Glenn Little, what a throwback that is as well, an absolute fan's favourite at his time at Wrexham Football Club. We then move on to Jay Rodriguez, and there we go for Southampton. And this card, if we're looking at it, is from his time at Burnley in the Premier League, and this is the first numbered one of the set. It's 172 of 199. We then do have Matty James and James McLean from their Premier League cards. McLean from Euro 2016. Lewis O'Brien as well. I think you can just about see it there. It's numbered 7 out of 49. Connor Cody, and then a Connor Cody signed from his time at Everton. It's on sort of a sticker at the bottom, but it is genuine, it's authentic. I got that for a bargain deal. We then go on to Issa Kabore from his time at Olympique Marseille. Again, I think you can see that it's numbered 340 or 350. That was from the Topps Merlin set, his first ever card in obviously Topps, hence why it's a rookie card. You have Kiefer Moore there, which is from his time at Bournemouth in the Premier League, and yet again it's another numbered 2 out of 25, so only 25 of those in the world. And again, I got this for a bargain deal, probably because obviously a lot of people are wanting to sell their cards now because he's at Wrexham now, he's had a really good start to the season, but it was one that I just had to get and couldn't turn down for the price. Again, 2 out of 25. Then at the bottom we have one of his cards at Bournemouth as well from the Panini Premier League set, a signed Nathan Broadhead match attack from, again, the Panini set last season in the Premier League, and finishing off with Danny Ward, the same set as the Kiefer Moore 2 of 25 there. I think it was a red Mojo card, this Danny Ward one. It came this morning, and again, it's an absolutely lovely design, and this one is numbered 78 of 99. So that is all the cards from the collection so far. I think I've got 6 more coming in the post. I think there's another numbered Connor Cody one, another signed Cody one, another numbered Kiefer Moore, another Issa Kabore, and there is one more. If I remember it, I'll put it at the end of the video. But yeah, this is my ever-growing collection of Wrexham cards, and hopefully one day we can see players actually in a Wrexham shirt, and I won't have to collect them from their other clubs. In terms of my favourites, it has to be that Issa Kabore one, because again, it's a thicker card because it's from the Topps Merlin set. It's numbered 340 of 350. It was his first card, hence why it's a rookie. But again, they're all stunning cards, and it's a collection that I'm looking to grow as time goes on. So if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe, and let me know your favourite card that I do have in my collection, and let me know if you've collected any Wrexham cards, obviously since the takeover, because there's a lot of players that have had Premier League cards across Topps and Panini sets. So let me know your thoughts. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like, make sure to subscribe. I hope you like the blue rubber gloves as well. So yeah, until the next video, take care guys, and let's hope for a big 3 points on Saturday at Norwich. Up the town.